Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we watched How to Train Your Dragon, so you don't have to. Actually, you should.
Yeah, you should. It's really good.
It's a pretty good movie. We're going to talk about it. I guess we'll give our initial impressions like we usually do, and then we'll give spoilers. Although,
I mean, it's not much to spoil, but yeah.
This one is a pretty close remake. Yeah, so we are talking again about the How to Train Your Dragon live-action remake. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Trust us. If you've seen the first one, you've already
if you
seen
like
this
the first one, you'll like this one. You know,
Anyway, before you get into any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
This video brought to you by Orcs or A-Holes. Go to badorcs.com, pick up some orc pins. Orcs doing really rude stuff because that's what orcs do. Thank you very much for the support. That's badorcs.com. So we went to go see How to Train Your Dragon, and it is How to Train Your Dragon in live action.
Yeah, I mean, do we need a live action remake of How to Train Your Dragon? Probably not. But was it good, and does it work in live action? Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that and I haven't seen all the live-action Disney remakes, but of the live-action Disney remakes I've seen, How to Train Your Dragon is better than those.
Yeah, well, it's not Disney, so that's part of it right there.
It's not Disney, but it does work in live action. I think they tone some of the dragon designs down so they're not as cartoonish, but they look really good. The dragons look really good. People have taken issue with the casting choices. We'll talk a little bit about that, but I think everybody did pretty well.
Yeah,
in
I
this
think
movie.
so.
I know there are concerns about Astrid based on her appearance, but she definitely gives off Astrid vibes. The actress that plays her. It is. I don't even know what to say about this because, like, how do you talk about this? Because, like, look, it is pretty much a 1-to-1 remake of the original movie. They add a couple of scenes, they took a couple of scenes away, but they don't even waver as much as they did, or deviate as much as they did with Lilo and Stitch. So this is a more faithful adaptation of How to Train Your Dragon than Lilo and Stitch was.
I mean, the deviations have been like one scene was removed. Our daughter talked about. I don't know if we're allowed to talk about it yet or not. And it was one that kind of made sense in the movie because you needed to know that. But then they add a scene to explain all the wild diversity on Burke now.
Yeah, so they do address it. I mean, I guess I'll just rip. Let's just rip the damn.
There's no reason to put spoilers in it because it's the same movie.
Okay, so if you guys don't want to be spoiled, just tune out right now.
But there's nothing to spoil by, really.
Do you want to give like a number rating before we get into the 3 changes they made to the movie?
I don't know. I like How to Train Your Dragon. I'm a big How to Train Your Dragon fan. Yeah. So I would give it like an 8.5.
I'd give it an 8. It's definitely better than Lilo and Stitch. Yeah, I would give it an 8. It's watchable. If you've never seen the original movie, you can watch this one and not feel like you're missing out on a whole lot. But I mean, I do think that the animated version is like one of the best animated movies of all time.
Yeah, I love it. It's
CG animated movies of all time. So it's, and I mean, that was hard with Lilo and Stitch too, because Lilo and Stitch is such a beloved classic and it was an amazing movie.
See, that's just why you don't need a live action. When the movie is so well done that it doesn't need a live action version of it, it's never going to rank as high as the original because it was unnecessary. That being said, a lot of it looks really good in live action, and they're the same movie, but there are differences because it's live action. And I think it's a really good movie. If you love How to Train Your Dragon, you'll love this. However, there are some differences. One difference was the scene, which I forgot about it. Our daughter reminded us. The scene where he learns they're not fireproof from the inside with the little baby dragons fighting the fish. They took that out. So he just somehow knows they're not fireproof from the inside. And
that's a huge plot point later, right? So it's like that's how he figured it out.
Right. And it was really great in the animated film because it made it make sense. Now, the other thing is, because unlike the animated film, this one has a lot of people with different colors. And it's hilarious because they address it. Our daughter's like, why didn't they just ignore it and move on? But no, they make a big point. They're having a big tribal meeting, right, guys? And he's the chief. And they discuss that they have to make a big point of thanking all the different Viking tribes from other areas of the world. the Vikings from China and the Vikings
Yes.
from Africa and the
Yes.
Vikings from the Silk Road and the Vikings from this and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, but that's not what Vikings were.
Yeah,
But
I know. I mean, like, look, I'll give it a pass more because, look, we're dealing with dragons. We're dealing with, but it was a very weird, like, they were trying, you could tell they were like, well, no, we're gonna double down on the diversity, but we need to explain why we have so many Black and Asian Vikings. So let's put a little scene in here where we explain it. And I'm like,
and we make sure we thank them all for being there.
so Burke is like Ellis Island, I guess. With
Apparently.
dragons,
And there are all these different Viking tribes from around the world because, that makes sense.
That, yeah, whatever. The dragons, you dragons.
No, but it's Vikings,
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I know you're not allowed to question it, or you're a racist if you question why there are so many diverse Vikings.
Basically, they wanted to hire someone, Astrid, to not be white, and they needed an explanation for why there's so many characters running around that are not white.
Yeah, and that was, I noticed that even in the opening scene, which is pretty much beat for beat for the from the animated movie. But like, I'm like, boy, there sure is a lot of diversity on Burke.
Yeah, right.
In Scandinavia, yeah, it's just kind of.
I know.
I mean, it's definitely, I don't think it's a deal breaker. And the girl, look, I'll tell you the truth. The girl plays Astrid. I actually thought she was really good.
She was. The thing got me was the actress is now recently doing one of the other things that you shouldn't do, which is she's mad at people complaining about her hair not being blonde, which honestly, you could have made her hair blonde. It wasn't that big of a deal.
She had blonde streaks.
It had blonde streaks.
Yeah.
But now she's like kind of attacking fans
no,
about
don't
it,
do
which
that.
is
Don't do
stupid because she's like I value your, if you're worried about my hair, about not valuing their opinion on anything else. I forget exactly what the words were. I'll look it up in a minute. But she was out, complaining about that because people keep complaining about her hair, so she lashed out. And I get the desire to lash back, but sometimes you just really need to stop.
Yeah, because what's going to happen is, and again, this is the Rachel Zegler syndrome here. Actually, Rachel Zegler was just insufferable, but like the media is going to clip the stupidest thing you've said, and then that is going to cost you points at the box office. But I haven't been paying attention. I haven't been paying attention to that, so I don't know. I mean, just sitting down watching the movie, I'm like, yeah, she's got the vibe. She's got the Astrid vibe. I think she does. She did okay.
But she's just like, she's out there saying, I'm trying to find out, like, I forget what she said exactly. I'm trying to look it up. But but she can't stop. She just needs, she's mad. People are mad about her hair. And she has
I get it. I mean, I get it. I'd be kind of like,
I mean, she's like, I can't value your opinion in my hair. I'm trying to find it. There's some people that really love the animated movies and really want to see an exact play-by-play of that film, which mostly this is. And I hope that you can watch the new version and find something that you love about it, regardless. But for the people that just hate inclusivity, hate change when it comes to that side of things, I just don't care. If I wouldn't value your opinion on most things in life, I can't value your opinion on my hair. If I did, I would go mad. I'm like,
okay, that's
wrong time to open your damn mouth.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I would.
And we liked you.
I would. Yeah, I actually thought she was good. I thought she was good.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't America Fier was Astrid in the original?
I think so. Which wasn't white. It was red with blonde hair either. But I'm just saying.
No. I'm just saying because back then, you could be a voice actor and.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. They're like, if you don't value inclusivity, it's flipping Viking. It's the Island
Vikings.
It's Vikings. Yeah. There wouldn't be a lot of inclusivity. I'm sorry.
Well, they explain it.
That's one thing I will say. I'll take a moment here. If it's anything that would be historically or, regionally would be predominantly white, you're not allowed to leave it white. You have to have diversity and inclusion in it. But if it was a show made in if it was taking place in Asia or taking place in Africa or taking place in someplace else, it would be all diversity. It would be all those people that are from that area, and they wouldn't have any white people in it or they had one token one because, we can't have diversity because it's about that area. But you can't, if it's probably white, you can't do that. You have to have diversity, inclusion, and all this shit. And I was totally down with her playing it. I still think she did a good job. But then she makes that comment, and I'm like, why are you doing this? And why are you waiting until the movie comes out, right when it's coming out, to shoot your mouth off?
I would have a clause, especially with younger actors, and I'd be like, you're entitled to your opinion, but could you please wait until after opening weekend? Say something stupid.
So she said something stupid. Like, if I wouldn't value your opinion about anything else, why would I value your opinion about my hair? And it's like, dumb thing to say, girl. Dumb thing to say, especially when it's coming out. But anyway.
Yeah, especially with it coming out. But I mean, if people actually sit down and watch the movie, she is very much Astrid. I think she.
Yeah,
does a
it was
job,
good. The hair was a little distracting, but it wasn't a deal breaker.
No, it wasn't.
Like our daughter said, they changed the hair on all the other characters too.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. You know, we had gingers where they were blonde. We had it was kind of, but it was just so weird to see them like just flat out address it and make a whole.
They did.
Like,
they made it. It was like
it's
you
like
said,
a
the Pirates
2-minute
of the
scene,
Caribbean,
and they're like
where they have the council. It's
yeah,
like
they have
Pirates
the council,
of the
which
Caribbean.
very very much like Pirates of the Caribbean. And they're all kind of we're talking about this in the car on the way back, and they're all just sitting around the table being like, "And you from the Silk Road, and you from the." Whatever pot place, what is that? What?
Yeah,
is that
you
what
from basically you from Africa, you from China, you from another place out in the in the Middle East.
We're all
or
Vikings
whatever.
together. Yes,
and it was like okay.
And the Rainbow Tribe, we really appreciate you, especially this.
They
month.
didn't have the Rainbow Tribe, so he's making that up.
But I mean,
how dare they though? It should have been the Rainbow.
Yeah,
Tribe.
I know, right? We need explicit representation on screen. No, actually, it was pretty much a 1-to-1 remake. I mean, it was. The kid that plays Hiccup is perfect. His voice even sounds like.
A lot of people were like about it, but I think he pulled it off really, really well. I know our daughter's kind of he doesn't like look exactly like Hiccup, but
he's not
I think
as scrawny. I
think it works.
But Hiccup was also a cartoon character,
right?
I mean, that's the thing too. Some of the stuff that works, and that's the problem with a lot of the live action remakes, is that some of the stuff that works, the emotion that you get out of the cartoon characters doesn't really work in live action because a lot of times it's very exaggerated and very, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And in live action, you try to do the same thing, and it's like, it just doesn't work.
No, but it works. It works in this, and it works well. And the animation on Toothless was really well done.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly. Side to side movie, it's pretty much, other than like they changed they swapped some people changed some hair color. It's pretty much 1-to-1. It's really really good. It works really well in live action. I don't know what else to say about it other than that. I would definitely. I don't have any complaints about it other than the fact the actress had to go shoot her mouth off, and I thought it was wonky to insert all that. Here's why we're diverse now.
Yeah, that was really weird. Yeah, it was a very weird thing. But they're probably like, how do we explain the black and Asian Vikings? Different tribes from around the world. There you go. Okay, boom, done.
Her daughter's like, it comes across like they're diversity hires. That's what she said. She said they shouldn't have dressed it like that at all, because she said it kind of just comes across as, and here's our diversity tribes, And she's like they shouldn't have just gone there. Just made it like that's as normal. Leave it as it is. But no, they somehow made it worse by doing that.
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't even know. I don't know what else to say about the movie. You like the original, you probably like this one because it's literally the same damn thing for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, there really wasn't many changes to it. Like they took the little baby dragon scene out, which actually was necessary. That actually understood.
Hurts the plot. Yeah,
a little bit.
Because that's how he figured out how to beat the end boss. The final boss was, they explode from the inside. Now, they did change the ending. He does drop Toothless off at an animal shelter at the end, because he does want to become an engineer and pursue his lifelong dream.
That's a hat tip to Aaron Sparrow. Yeah. Because he was put that.
There you go, Aaron.
No, it's really close to it. It works very well as the live action movie.
It does work. It's like, look, I mean, again, ultimately, are these remakes necessary? Hell no.
Especially when something so great to begin with, like How to Train Your Dragon or Lilo and Stitch. You really are somehow, especially Lilo and Stitch, it kind of cheapened it to make the live action.
Yeah,
it did. Cheapens it actually, because I think it's really cool to see it in live action, but it's not necessary.
Well, eventually, I mean, it's weird because this movie isn't that old. It's like less than 15 years old, right? So we're already going to go remake presumably the trilogy of movies. We're going to remake them again.
Money.
For money, yeah, and but it's weird because now we're gonna get Moana, which is like it's not even gonna be 10 years old when they're. So I'm like, why don't you? Okay, so what's gonna happen eventually? And they were talking about this with Lionsgate. They said eventually they're gonna use AI to basically run movies through a filter. So it's like, oh, you don't want the live action version? You'd rather see this as an anime? Okay, we can do that.
Yeah,
and that's what they'll do. So I'm like, at that point, just like, yeah, just run. So then that's how you make money off these movies forever. Be like, oh, you want Tom Cruise in How to Train Your Dragon? Cool. We'll fire up the AI.
No,
machine.
I don't want Tom Cruise.
Oh my God.
So How to Train Your Dragon, yeah.
But yeah, it's okay. There are certainly there's certainly better movies. There's certainly worse ways to spend your weekend if you've got some kids that maybe haven't seen the original or they've seen it, but you want to see it again.
It was mostly kids in the theater. Well, no, I would say it was mostly kids in the theater, but it wasn't. There was a lot of like teenagers in the theater.
Well, yeah, because this movie would have been something they grew up with, and our kids, they grew up watching this movie and Lilo and Stitch, and now you can watch it again and again and again and again and again.
I mean, ultimately, the better version, I think, is the animated one, but like Lilo and Stitch, the animated version was far superior to the live action one, but the live action wasn't bad, but the animated version was a lot better. This one, the animated version, of course, is superior to this one, but this one actually holds up way better than even Lilo and Stitch did.
Yeah,
I think it's close to the animated version in quality.
Yeah, they did a much better job with this than Disney has done on at least the live action movies I've seen. I've probably seen about a dozen of them, and this is much better than anything Disney's done. So there it is. How to Train Your Dragon. Go see it again, I guess, or don't. I don't care. Either way, but
it's good though. It's worth seeing.
Yeah,
it's worth seeing in the theater because it's really fun to watch it in the theater. I mean, sometimes they release, depending on the theater, they'll do for the summer. They'll bring back the animated versions of things or animated movies. I would love to watch the animated one in the theater too, but this was fun to watch, and they did do a really good job with it. And the CG is really good. It's finished. It's great. I love it. So there you go.
All right. There we go, guys. 8.5, same movie, basically. Yeah. We're going to wrap it up.
The original was a 12 or 15.
Yeah, the original's like a 12 or 15. So we're going to wrap this one up.
Yes.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Again, go to badorcs.com. Check out Orcs Are A-Holes. There we go. Talk to you later.
Bye.